The Biden administration is preparing to reopen the Canadian and Mexican borders, allowing travel into the United States, but only if you're fully vaccinated. Meantime, there are hundreds of thousands of migrants crossing our southern border going untested for COVID, no vaccination requirements, and they're not supposed to be in the country at all. Joining me now, former acting Department of Homeland Security Deputy Chief of Staff, Heritage Foundation Center for Technology Policy Director Lora Ries. Lora, this is really rich, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Dagan, and good morning. Yes, today the Department of Homeland Security is announcing that people will be able to travel across the land borders if they are non-essential. We've had restrictions for the past 19 months, only limiting essential workers or travelers to come across the land border. But just a few weeks ago, when the Biden administration announced that air travelers could come to the U.S. If they could prove vaccination, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, when asked whether illegal aliens crossing the southern border would be required to be vaccinated or even tested for COVID, she gave a ridiculous answer that no, they would not be because they don't plan to stay long. So once again, illegal aliens seem to get the trump card for other requirements that American citizens have to meet or even the traveling public.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas ordering Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents to stop raiding immigrant workplaces, saying this practice misallocated enforcement resources. Lora, this is on top of ICE being ordered by DHS that the deportation requirement for individuals in this country illegally, they shouldn't only be based on the fact that they're here in this country illegally, that they needed to take into account other things to move ahead with deportation. So that essentially was an order, if you want to add insult to injury, an order from Mayorkas and the DHS that being in the country illegally really isn't illegal. How much further can they go with this nonsense?
Well, it's a good question, and the law still requires that work-authorized people can work here. If illegal aliens are not allowed to work here in the U.S. under the law. But this administration seems to have no regard for the law, especially when it comes to immigration. And yes, this is just another layer of lack of immigration enforcement that Secretary Mayorkas is piling on to his prior memo that you mentioned earlier, a couple weeks ago, where he is telling ICE agents to not do their job, essentially, unless you are a spy or a terrorist. And even in the case of convicted serious criminal aliens, even they are supposed to have close examination of the totality of their circumstances when it comes to deciding whether to arrest them and to deport them. And so this really endangers Americans, our communities. And Americans want to be safe. They want laws enforced, and immigration is no exception.
Brian Brimberg?
Lora, when you describe these instructions to ICE agents, when you talk about how Border Patrol agents are being treated based on the job that they're trying to do, it just sounds to most people like it's impossible. How in the world can you possibly enforce laws when you're wrapped in regulation, when you're wrapped in self-contradictory guidance like this coming from the very top of this administration?
Well, it's a good question, and my heart goes out to the Border Patrol agents and ICE officers who are trying to do their job. But this administration is tying their hands at every turn. Morale could not be any lower. And this administration and the left, instead of supporting their agents and listening to what they need and giving them those resources, they blame the agents first. And the most egregious case of this was the Horse Patrol a couple weeks ago, dealing with the Del Rio surge of 15,000 illegal aliens. The Biden administration blamed those Horse Patrol agents, punished them, put them on administrative leave, took away the use of the Horse Patrol, And this is just one example of how this administration views law enforcement, whether it's immigration enforcement officers or police officers generally. The efforts to defund these agencies and to take away their jobs is at every turn.
It's like law enforcement, any law enforcement. It's what the left did to police departments and police officers, really, nationwide, where demonization has the same effect, the same impact as defunding these organizations, because you discourage people from being able to do their jobs. You cause vast retirements. You discourage young people from joining the Border Patrol or becoming a police officer. And so it makes the border situation and will that much worse. Final word, Laura.
That's right. This administration encouraged an excellent worker, the former Border Patrol chief, Scott, to retire. And he's still young and was very good at his job. And fortunately now he is speaking out about the dangers that this administration's policies are leading to, particularly with known and suspected terrorists crossing that southern border. The border is wide open. They've seen nationals from 150 countries come across that border this year, and this makes America less safe. This is a national security risk, in addition to being a public health risk. And so this administration needs to get its priorities straight and put Americans first.
Lora Ries, thank you so much for being here this morning. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.